Now, why do you think investigative journalism is important in our profession?
Investigative journalism is important because it goes beyond news. It digs up information, data, and exposing wrongdoing. And by so doing, it ensures that there will be redress. For instance, somebody's rights have been abused, or somebody who's entrusted with public office loots the funds. It's the duty of the journalist to track how that happened and expose it to the public, and then make sure that if it's a criminal case, that justice is served. If it's a human rights violation, for instance, that the person gets a redress and closure, the victim.
Okay, Manda, we've heard a lot of talk, a lot of lectures since this training started. And one of the questions we keep asking ourselves, the issue of poverty has become a major issue in journalism. And it's one of the reasons why we are not getting the kind of reports that we should be showing to the public. What do you think we can do to reverse this trend where journalists don't get paid? Majority of them even retire rich and poor. What direction can you give so that journalists who are still young can pick up from this?
I think it's journalism that creates the kind of journalists who are comfortable, willing, passionate, and forever ready to do their work comes from a buoyant economy. There's no way you're going to get journalists that are comfortable and able to enforce ethics of the profession, because journalism is about ethics. There are principles that guide the practice of journalism. For instance, you're told you cannot, for instance, collect money from people who are the center of what you're probing, of your reports. You cannot do that because you become biased. And we all understand, because it's all over the world, it's not just Nigeria, that people are being forced to. But for many of us, for many organizations, individual journalists, me personally, I always use my own example. I've been offered, I cover what is the major industry that sustains Nigeria, the oil industry. I've been offered jobs. In my state, I've been offered commissionership. I've said no. You understand? And because I want to practice my journalism as a free, proud professional, not like somebody that pops up her head out of somebody's pocket. That's it. It's possible, but the only way we can do it is to work and be conscious of these challenges and these realities, and know that journalists, if you want the kind of principled journalism, journalists have to be paid. So we all have to work with the rest of society. Journalists and media organizations cannot do it alone. A young man was just telling me about his second hustle. I've always had some side hustle. I actually started life as a fashion designer, and those are things I've always done. I've always made sure that I did things over the years, because I realized that my journalism pay can never take me to the end of the month. And I vowed, I'm somebody who has a sort of like a sense of self. I don't want somebody to look at me and feel I've given this person money, and who is she? There's nobody in this country who can stand out and tell me, oh, I've given Don Pedro money, and so who is she? She cannot talk. When I write, if you can dare me.
Yeah, you are just 1 out of 10. That is why we are asking some of these questions.
We need to empower ourselves and actually be prepared. Do we want to be part of this profession? Do we want to change society for our children and our children's children? That's it. But we have to empower ourselves and look for ways, whether digitally today, whether other side hustles. So you blend the two and come out empowered. And there are resources for journalists all over the world. I've been to some of the best. I've been to Harvard, I've been to MIT and all of that. I'm an empowered journalist, an empowered woman. And I do know, even when I'm frustrated and I want to leave, I say, who am I leaving this burden to? You know what I'm saying? Who am I leaving this profession to now? Then I'll be home unhappy. I'll be saying, oh, these people are still stealing money. That's why we stay with people like us, and to encourage younger people to come up. We can, because we have examples. When I was at the MIT, we had journalists who were part of our programs who were earning $100,000. How much was my salary at the Guardian then? But I stayed with that because I believe that I will always find my way, and that I should also encourage other people to stay. And if I encourage you to stay, then I have to be part of the process to empower you to enable you, not just to encourage you for mouth to say don't collect. I always tell, what is the alternative? We have to create the spaces to make sure that, and these are some of the things we're beginning to do now with the support of Wole Soyinka Center, with MacArthur Foundation, and then there are other organizations willing, because what we're facing today is global. The media is on its feet. I looked at the copy of the Guardian before. For you to carry a copy of the Guardian, say on a Tuesday or Thursday, you have to have do some food to carry it. If not, your arm will break. But today you can see the Guardian 32 pages. The media space, like we all acknowledge, is changing. We have to change along. If you can, you have to work more. You can create a blog. You can have a YouTube page where you have information that people can pay for, and you can also have another side hustle. If you have 5 side hustles, please do it.
Okay. You were talking about the new technology that journalists should grow and work with those areas.
Yes.
Yes, new tech.
Just teaching themselves, learning.
Yes, because we've had situations where people complain that there are too many online or blogs currently trendy, and that has also promoted unethical practices.
Yes.
So, in light of this, what direction do you want journalists today going forward should follow?
I think one of the ways is, like, you know, if you go online, somehow you'll get to know that this is trash. It's like journalism, it's like print or whatever now. You know this is trash, and people will not go. But once people go to your site, say you have a blog site or you have a YouTube channel, and you're coming up with solid, verifiable content, people will come to you. And it doesn't come immediately. We've been doing National Point for 15 years, and we're not tired. We're bringing in on young people. This thing we're doing yesterday and today were things we wanted to do years ago, and it's happening today. So it takes time. Everything will take time, ultimately. You be patient, and you're not in competition with anybody. Leave them with their jeeps and their cars. You're focused, and you will get there eventually. That's how it's happened to us as individual journalists and our organization too.
Okay, we know that you are a big voice in the Niger Delta. I think that
as a person, a daughter, a professional of the Niger Delta, it would be very difficult for me to outright, or condemn coal fire, the artisanal refining, because our people have been pushed to that. But having said that, even if we say the business of coal fire, which we call it in Port Harcourt and much of the Niger Delta, should be legalized. Is it sustainable? Do you run a business on stolen crude? You understand what I'm saying? There are so many issues. We need to sit down as a region, as people, because all our communities are affected. And as an environmentalist, I've always taken the oil company to task for destruction of our environment. But I must be honest to say the kind of devastation that's happening in the Niger Delta is unprecedented, has never happened. It needs to stop, and we need to find alternatives. Instead of people stealing money to fund lifestyle that they cannot fund, I want to say authoritatively, 99% of politicians in the Niger Delta didn't have up to 50,000 in their accounts by 1999. The stealing should stop. The money should be diverted to empower the youth. The killing, we've lost too many young people and people ordinarily due to coal-fire sites going off, or fuel being transported in vehicles going on fire. It has to stop. Let the looting stop, first of all. And it's our duty to speak up. It's not about me, Biba, or a few journalists speaking up, or activists. We all have to come together, and I hope when we have some of these kind of gatherings, I think like a gathering today, we should take a position on coal fire and say it must stop. And then we know that the economy is down, but you know that we're so blessed in the Niger Delta. There's war in Ukraine. They need our oil, they need our gas. All of the resources that will come from this war must be channeled to youth empowerment. When I say youth, it's not just boys, youth, men, women. The looting, the pollution should stop in the Niger Delta today.